Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and I figured before I go to the Royal Rumble tomorrow, I decided I would do like a Royal Rumble related video. And so, yeah, I decided I could probably review like a retro Royal Rumble match. But the problem with that is, like, I have already talked about pretty much every one. Like if you've been subscribed to me since like 2014, like at the start of the year, like during the entire month of January, I talked about pretty much every Royal Rumble in history. And I've even like since then, I've even made like a lot of other. Well, I've talked about like other Royal Rumble events that have happened since. So there was a problem with that. Seeing how I already did that. So I thought, what could I really do if I wanted to make like a Royal Rumble review? So then I just decided I did that I could actually review the uh, the SmackDown Royal Rumble match back in 2004. So that's what this review is going to be. I'm going to be talking about that Royal Rumble match that occurred on SmackDown in 2004. So yeah, so this match took place the following SmackDown after the Royal Rumble event in 2004. Or yeah, and how this like whole thing came about was, of course, like Chris Benoit ended up winning the Royal Rumble match that year. Yeah, Chris Benoit was actually like a part of SmackDown when he did win the Royal Rumble. But of course, the very next night on Raw, Chris Benoit jumped ship and went to Raw and challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship rather than the WWE Championship. Yeah, and then the following episode of SmackDown, Vince McMahon came to SmackDown and confronted Paul Heyman, who was the general manager of SmackDown at the time, about it. And then, Paul Heyman was basically just saying that he wants to do the same thing that Vince did because, he like reminded Vince about other times where superstars walked out on him, like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart and guys like that. And he reminded Vince that when that happened, he gave other stars a chance. And then Paul Heyman decided that because Chris Benoit walked down on SmackDown, he decided to like give another superstar a chance. And so Paul Heyman then pitched the idea to Vince McMahon to have the Royal Rumble match on SmackDown, which was a 15-man Royal Rumble match, and it basically just consisted of all of the SmackDown stars that were in the actual Royal Rumble match, that were actually in the Royal Rumble match at the event, Royal Rumble event. So and it was like consisted of the guys from SmackDown that were in the Royal Rumble match that year. It was like it was uh Kurt Angle, Rhino, Charlie Haas, the world's greatest tag team, Ernest the Cat Miller, Bradshaw, Tajiri, Big Show, Billy Gunn, John Cena, Nunzio, A-Train, and Rikishi. And Paul Heyman also decided to like add in some new stars. So Paul Heyman added Hardcore Holly into the match in replacement for Matt Morgan, and who was in the Royal Rumble match but suffered an injury. So so Paul Heyman filled Matt Morgan's position and in the match with Hardcore Holly for this one, and also in place of Chris Benoit, Paul Heyman added in Eddie Guerrero. So those were the 15 guys that were in this SmackDown Royal Rumble match. And Paul Heyman also said that rather than waiting until WrestleMania to give the winner of the Royal Rumble match a title shot, the winner of this match would actually receive the title shot at No Way Out instead. So this was a 15-man Royal Rumble match for a WWE title shot at No Way Out against Brock Lesnar, who was the champion at the time. So and Vince McMahon approved of it. So then we got this Royal Rumble match on this night, and I thought that this was interesting. I mean, they were like saying that this was like the first Royal Rumble on television and stuff, like first time on broadcast television, but no, that's not, because the very first Royal Rumble in 1988 was actually was on USA Network. It wasn't an actual pay per view. So they kind of did like mess that up a little bit because the very first Royal Rumble was on television and not pay per view. So like I did think that this was an interesting concept because yeah, it's a 15-man Royal Rumble and it's on a SmackDown, so it was interesting. I mean, yeah, WWE has kind of like done like sort of like Royal Rumble parodies like this. I mean, I remember like back in 2008 they had the that mini Royal Rumble where it had like just like a few midgets in the match, like Hornswoggle with like midgets impersonating other wrestlers like Mankind and Batista and Kane and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, they have done like small Royal Rumble style matches like this before. But yeah, and I think that this is like a real legit Royal Rumble style match, just with like 15 guys rather than 30. So yeah, and I think that this was interesting. I mean, I thought that this was entertaining. I guess. I mean, yeah, if you want to actually watch this Royal Rumble, it's actually up on YouTube. It's in like 4 different parts. I'll put the all 4 parts for this Royal Rumble match down in the description if you want to see this Royal Rumble for yourself. If you haven't seen it before, or if like even if like it's been a while since you have seen it and you want to watch it, it'll be down in the description if you want to watch it in 4 parts. Yeah. So I did think that this was interesting to watch. I mean, I did like it enough. I mean, it did feel like a Royal Rumble match enough, even though like it's like a real smaller style of Royal Rumble match. But yeah, I still did enjoy it. Yet I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I said, it just basically was just a second chance for all these guys that were in the actual Royal Rumble match at the Royal Rumble event. But and then yeah, I really do think that this was pretty good. I mean, it did have like some funny moments in this Royal Rumble match, which I will talk about and stuff. But yeah, I did think overall it was good. I mean, yeah, there were like because this was like on SmackDown and not pay per view. Like it did actually like there were actually like a lot of like parts where it did like cut to commercial breaks and stuff. So yeah, we don't actually get to see like the actual full match from start to finish without any interruptions and stuff. But yeah, for what we do get to see of it, it is pretty entertaining to watch, I think. So yeah, I guess I don't know. As far as a rating goes, I'm not quite sure how to rate this. I guess I would probably give it, I guess, a 3.5 stars. I mean, yeah, but just because like there is only 15 people in this match and not 30, it is a shorter Royal Rumble. So yeah, based on like how like reduced down this Royal Rumble match is from a real one, and I guess like do like kind of have to like make do. We do kind of have to like make do with this and just try to do the best we can to really judge this as a Royal Rumble match and just like kind of like since it's cut down and stuff, we just have to like try to like do the best we can to really like judge it as a real Royal Rumble. So yeah, based on all that, I would probably like lean on like 3.5 stars for the rating for this match. All right, so I guess I'll just talk a little bit about the match. All right, so the two men to start off this Royal Rumble match were Kurt Angle and Rhino. I know, yeah, Kurt Angle number 1, Rhino number 2. Yeah, and then no, the world's greatest tag team then were back-to-back entrants. Yeah, Charlie Haas came out, and then Shelton Benjamin, and of course the two of them were teaming up on both Kurt Angle and Rhino. And then yeah, I had like a Bradshaw event and then coming into the match, and then yeah, then it like cut to a commercial after like Bradshaw came in, and then like during the commercial break during this time like Ernest the Cat Miller was the next entrant. They like showed him when they came back to back. They then like showed like a replay of Ernest the Cat Miller's time in the match. Like if you saw like the actual Royal Rumble match in 2004, like all the time he was in the ring, he was just like dancing, and here he was like dancing too, but he was actually like fighting as he did dance. Like he did like knock people down, like as he was dancing. So at least he actually did get like offense in this Royal Rumble match. But yeah, he ended up getting eliminated before it came back from commercial. And then yeah, when it came back then to Jerry then came out was the next entrant, yeah. And then no, yeah, the next entrant was Billy Gunn, and then yeah, Big Show then was number 9, and then like right when Big Show's music hit, everyone that was in the match right then just like stopped and was just like staring down at Big Show coming down to the ring, and yeah, of course like once Big Show like entered the match, like of course like everyone in the match at that point was like trying to all team up and eliminate the Big Show. Oh, and yeah, everyone was just like trying to beat down Big Show and trying to eliminate him, but then Big Show then just ended up like pushing back everybody. And he was like kind of like Big Show was playing bowling and hit a strike, knocking everybody down. Yeah, yeah. And Big Show then like eventually eliminated Tajiri, and then Bradshaw got eliminated as well. Oh yeah, and then eventually, then John Cena was the next entrant, and yeah, John Cena like was came into this match with like his knee kind of like bandaged and braced up because yeah, if you saw the actual Rumble that year when John Cena got eliminated, you saw like he kind of twisted his knee and injured it. So yeah, in this match, like he was like competing with the knee brace on after injuring his knee. Yeah, and then and then during the commercial break, then we had a couple other entrants on Nunzio and A Train enter the match, and John Cena eliminated Nunzio during that commercial break. Yeah. Then the next entrant was Eddie Guerrero, but yeah, it was like like people weren't sure if Eddie Guerrero was actually gonna be able to compete in this match because before the match like Eddie Guerrero was attacked from behind in the backstage area and was knocked unconscious, and Eddie Guerrero was taken to like the hospital, but then yeah, Eddie Guerrero like came back, and yeah, Eddie Guerrero actually did come out. That when it was his time, yeah. Yep. And yeah. Yeah, and also like at some point like Rhino ended up getting eliminated in this match. Yeah, they never actually did show Rhino's elimination. Like it must have been like during a commercial break, but even like when it came back from a commercial, it didn't even have a replay showing Rhino's elimination. So yeah, it was just kind of like they didn't even pay attention to Rhino when he got eliminated. So yeah, yeah, but then yeah. Then the next entrant to enter was Rikishi, and it was funny. Like at one point, like Rikishi, then like there was just like all four corners had somebody in them, and Rikishi just gave everyone in those corners stink faces. Like Rikishi gave Big Show a stink face, and then he gave Shelton Benjamin a stink face, and Shelton Benjamin just had like the best reaction ever when he saw Rikishi's ass. Like as soon as Rikishi backed into the corner, and Shelton Benjamin saw Rikishi's ass. Shelton Benjamin was just like screaming like a girl and like was like, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, if you watch the SmackDown description, you can see it for yourself. It's a great reaction. Yeah, and then finally, the last entrant in the match was Hardcore Holly. Holly's in, yeah, yeah, and then like after the Big Show ended up eliminating John Cena, then basically everyone that was still in the match, then was like trying to really just push Big Show over the top rope, hope and eliminate him, and even John Cena helped and just pulled Big Show out, and Big Show ended up getting eliminated. And, yeah, and yeah, it was then down into like six guys in the match. Yeah, this World Greatest Tag Team ended up getting eliminated and pretty quickly to each other. Like Charlie Haas got eliminated by Eddie Guerrero, and then like less than a minute after, Kurt Angle eliminated Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, yeah, and then Hardcore Holly then got eliminated by Kurt Angle. He was like trying to eliminate Billy Gunn. Yeah, yeah, then Billy Gunn eventually got eliminated, and then yeah, it was like between Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Rikishi, and Rikishi was like holding his own against Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle, but then eventually like Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle teamed up and were able to eliminate Rikishi, and then it was down to Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle in the match, and yeah, Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle went at it for several minutes after that. Like there were like near elimination for both guys at numerous points, and yeah, Kurt Angle got Eddie Guerrero in a sleeper and stuff for a moment, yeah. And yeah, the two of them were just like battling back and forth for several minutes, and then Eddie Guerrero then tried to eliminate Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle held and then yeah, and as Kurt Angle was like on the outside of the ring on the apron, like he tried to suplex Eddie Guerrero over the ropes down to the floor to eliminate him, but yeah, Eddie Guerrero was able to fight it off, and then yeah, Eddie Guerrero then like reversed the suplex and like lifted Kurt Angle up and then just threw him down onto the floor. So yeah, Kurt Angle got eliminated, and then yeah, Eddie Guerrero ended up winning the Royal Rumble. And then so yeah, and then of course then Eddie Guerrero then went to No Way Out against Brock Lesnar for the WWE title and won it. So yeah, that's all it is. What it is. I mean, I've talked like about it before. How I really wasn't a fan of like Eddie Guerrero just like becoming the champion like this, just like because this was just like right after he broke away from Chavo and was feuding with him, and then just like automatically like he just like instantly gets pushed to the main event spot and becomes the champion. So I've talked about that before. How it was just like so rushed, and I didn't really wasn't a fan of how it was done, but a lot of other people loved it. So yeah, I guess a lot of people can see past it and put up with the fact of how rushed it was, but I can't look past it, and I just felt it was rushed, and I just really wasn't a fan of how rushed it was. Really felt that it should have been like stretched out and like have Eddie Guerrero be built up for a while before he actually won the title, but it is what it is. I mean, it's like it's been 15 years, so what are we gonna do about it all these years later? So yeah, but overall, I did overall enjoy this Royal Rumble match. I know I really didn't really like go in depth too much about this match, but really there isn't really a whole lot to talk about with it. I mean, it's just basically just it's like a Royal Rumble style match, and it's really just like set mostly on eliminations and stuff, and it really doesn't get like, too memorable and not really too much to talk about until it gets to down to Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero. But if you actually do watch this, I think you'll enjoy it just fine. It's just like not something like some of the greatest Royal Rumbles in history where there's like a bunch of memorable things that you can always remember from it. But yeah, if you do have the time, it is worth a watch, I think. So yeah, if you haven't seen it before, check it out and make your own conclusion to it. All right, so yeah, so I guess that's all I really have to say about it. So yeah, I guess this does it for my review of the SmackDown Royal Rumble match from 2004. Match will be down in the description once again if you want to see it. And that's so yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And yeah, and tomorrow I'm going to the Royal Rumble at Chase Field. So really looking forward to this. And like I told you, I will give my live thoughts on the show. I'm not sure if I will actually be making that video tomorrow or but yeah, if I don't, it'll probably be up on Monday. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. And then afterwards I will then like talk about how it came off on pay per view or on the WWE Network, and I'll like make a video giving my thoughts on that and how it did compared to seeing it live. So yeah, stay tuned for those two videos coming. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.